something that as part of his experience when he first came to Australia in our earlier on presentation. He said something very, very funny, and it's going to be much more interesting. Through that, we've got another brother who phoned in today, and we have to have this session with him. You are going to enjoy this. He's coming up with his own experiences, and guys, we need this. Our brothers and our family members back home overseas would love to know what is happening in this regard. And as they get to know, then we also here, we need to let them know what the realities are. So stay tuned to Koda TV today. Share this link. Share it to any of your friends, those overseas, those here, for them to also know what really is involved. So that if they want to travel overseas, they will know what to do. And those of us here, our experiences, all your experiences are also welcome. So without much ado, I will invite our brother Emmanuel. He will actually invite himself. He will introduce himself to us. So yeah, all right, bro, you are welcome. We welcome brother Emmanuel. Hello, brother Emmanuel. How are you doing today?
Hi, Senior. I'm doing good. I'm surviving by the grace, and I hope you are good too.
Oh, I'm very good. It's good to have you. It's always amazing to have you. We had you the last time, and then you ran away from us.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You left us.
I'll come back definitely.
You left us on our own in Sydney, and you vanished.
I'll come back very soon, one of these days.
Yeah. All right. That's good. So yeah, we were having a chat in the afternoon about the experiences of the international students in Australia.
Okay.
Which I saw you tune in and you sent in some powerful comments in that regard. And then I know you've got heaps of experiences that we can share with you today. We thank Brother Eric Togwenu so much for his experiences encounter that he showed. And we're going to open the floor for you to share. How was it like when you first came into Australia? I mean, in the first place, who are you? Please tell us about yourself.
Thanks, and thank viewers. I'm not a stranger on this platform, but then for the sake of those joining us today, just as Brother Eric introduced himself, I'm Emmanuel Edisopuku. Yep, I'm a family man with two lovely girls, and back home, as before moving here to Australia, I was a medical laboratory scientist. So I worked with the St. Benito Many Hospital Laboratory Department, and I was the head of the laboratory. I also worked as a part-time microbiology tutor at Fomna Nursing Training College. And I also ran my own business, Divine Medical Diagnostics.
Whoa. Slow down. Slow down. Please, who are you? Because I don't think I could get anything out of what you said. Tell us again. So you did about 100 things at a time.
I was the head of laboratory department of Benito Many Hospital.
Okay.
That's in a small town called Adansi Dumpasi.
Okay.
A lovely place to be. I also worked as a tutor. That's part-time for Fomna Nursing Training College.
Okay.
Microbiology tutor. I also ran my own business. That's Divine Medical Diagnostics.
Yeah.
I was the CEO for that business. And I said I was a full-time local preacher, a second steward, MYF, so everything.
Wow. That is amazing. It's good to have you. And so now you are in Australia. Finally, long story
yes,
short,
please.
You are in Australia as what? What are you doing in Australia?
I came to study, just go for my second degree, and I came to read public health at University of New South Wales. But the story will come alongside. I moved somewhere now, but I'm done. I'm done with school now, and because of the lockdown, I can't travel home. So I'm now here in Australia waiting to go home.
Wow. That is deep, and that is a lot of information for us. So yeah, so tell us about your experience, especially when you first came to Australia.
Yeah, I think this it's been long coming. We had a discussion some time ago that
Yeah.
it's about time we educate our colleagues back home
Mm-hmm.
who really have the zeal to pursue their education outside Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
for them to be aware of what it is here before they move in. I
Yeah.
will accept the fact that I made some mistakes, and I want people probably to learn from my mistakes.
Hi viewers, Brother Ima is joining us in a minute. But before he does that, I need to fix a few things before Brother Ima joins us again. He's actually in the background. We had a bit of a challenge. We forgot to plug in our laptop battery, but he's on the in the background. He's coming back in a minute. So as we wait, I will just say please share the video, share the link. Don't turn away. Just share the link, send it to your friends, send it everywhere so that Brother Emmanuel can continue with his presentation for us. But as we wait, I want to encourage everyone so that you will send through all that we have been doing. Just submit, share on this channel, share whatever this channel is doing with your friends and your brothers, your family members, anybody that you think would need such information to be able to travel out, to join you, to be with you, to study in Australia. There are so many reasons why somebody may want to come to Australia. One of the main reasons is to study or maybe to meet with the family members that have already resettled in Australia. But always, I've met so many people that they all have one challenge or the other. And we believe that there are those of us that have already come to this country, we believe we know exactly what to do, what to tell them. We know that there are certain things they would need, that we know where to find them because we are privileged to have come ahead of them. And because of that, if we are here already and then we can actually educate our brothers, give them more information about what it's entailed to be here, it is better we give them that information than to selfishly keep all the information to ourselves when someone else is somewhere that needs what we don't even need, or maybe we have already used it and someone is waiting to have such opportunity and then we are not allowing the people to get that opportunity. So it is best that we try to share with the people. We share this information with the people. We discuss with them that look, what you need is available. Whatever information we can get for them to be able to come and also study, we just give it to them. If not, we will be doing them a lot of, I mean, disservice, if you get what I mean. Because if a family member wants to travel to come and study in Australia and you are already here and you know people who have already studied or those who are studying and you can pass the information on to them, I believe it is just reasonable that you invite your brothers, you tell them that, look, I don't know what to give you, but then there are people that have actually gone through the process and they are doing this on Facebook Live, which everyone is using Facebook already. So if they are spending their data on some other things and you believe that you can help them to get this information, this quality information, you can help them. I believe it is better that you rather help them to come to such a to join such a meeting rather than to not help them to join this and waste their credits or their data on some other ventures that are not really fruitful. So yeah, that's what I believe we can do to help our brothers. And if we are able to do that today, they will also appreciate the fact that we have helped them. Brother Emmanuel is back on. He's back on, so he's going to take over again in the next 1 minute and you will enjoy yourself. So just stick tight and please share the link with them. Okay, Brother Emmanuel is ready. He's joining us in the next 1 minute. So just stay tuned as you share this link with your friends and your brothers. Please, anybody that has a comment, has something to say about what we are doing, you are welcome. I can send through a phone number for you to call if you are in Australia. If you want to join from overseas and just call and also share something, yes, that will be welcomed. So please, everyone is welcome. No one is left behind. Everyone is welcome. We are all welcome to come in and actually share our thoughts, our experiences. So the floor will be open for everyone to join in. So yeah, we have Brother Emmanuel back on. So Brother Emma, please, can you take over? Are you there? We can't hear you. Yes, you are on. You are good.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please. So yeah,
Okay.
you can continue from where you left off.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to set the pace for the fact that I want to share my story just for people to learn, especially for those who are thinking of coming to pursue their studies here in Australia. Uh, the mistake I made was, actually, as I said, I was much focused on chasing the CD back home. That even when I launched my application, I still did not even have time to study about Australia before traveling to Australia.
Wow.
Apparently, I was thinking when I get a visa, I'll spend some time and just study and learn much about it before I moved in. But I couldn't. They granted my visa less than matriculate from Ghana to Australia. So I moved. I just have to prepare within that short period, which I had another business ongoing because at that situation for the Obuasi Diocese men of God in the Methodist Church.
Okay.
So I had to combine that and also prepare myself for Australia. Yeah, I had initial promise of a possible 1 month accommodation, which I was so happy that once I get to Australia, I was going to enjoy a month accommodation.
Okay.
Virtually, that was my very hope. But then, the moment I got to Australia, the story was different.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, the friend who promised, something has happened and it wasn't possible for him again anymore to host me
Wow.
in his house.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be that would be frustrating.
At the airport, when I got to the airport, I called him. Apparently, his wife has been involved in an accident, so he couldn't even himself come and pick me from the airport.
Yeah.
So for about 1.5 hours, I was stuck at the Sydney airport with no idea where to go. No idea where to go.
Wow.
So I started making calls, and fortunately, he got his kid brother to come and pick me from the airport, and that was how I finally entered into the real Sydney, Australia system.
So as for you, your first day even at the airport was frustrating enough.
And if I had my own, I'd just turn back and go home.
Wow.
It wasn't easy. So
Wow.
as I said, that is one of the big mistakes I made, that I want anyone want to come to at least read more about the place we're going, know about, and have a backup plan that if a person is not available to pick you from the airport, you have another person to pick you. Because mine was very frustrating. If I'm use the word very, I'll stress on it. It was very frustrating.
So what about accommodation wise?
So when this young man picked me, apparently he did not pick me with his car. I joined him at the train station. So he asked me to ask for the train, the terminal for the train. Then I moved there with my luggages. Then he picked me from there. Then in the train, then he told me, I'm sorry, my brother says the accommodation is no more available. But then we've gotten you another good place. And that comes with a cost. of $150 a week.
So 150.
And then, but
Okay.
then I did a calculation, $150, converted it to cedis. Then I don't know. I just said to myself, I have an easy word I usually use, that nyamitiasi. And I know people who knows me call me by that name, nyamitiasi. And that has been my strength. So once I did the calculation and realized that $150 I'm going to pay in a week amount to this CD, the only thing I could say then was nyamitiasi.
Wow. Nyamitiasi means God is alive.
God is alive.
God is alive. Wow.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, tell me.
so he took me to one another Ghanaian who was a student, had 3 rooms, and there was one spare room. So we got there. And this gentleman was very he welcomed me that very day to his house, took me out, helped me to open an account that very day. Because he is a student, he knew the system of student. And I respect him to say that was the very first day he met me. After talking to me for an hour, he said, "Gentleman, I know you're a student, you are new. I'm going to give you 2 weeks free accommodation. But after 2 weeks, you're going to start paying the rent." And that was he's one young man, I still, he's Kokoti, yeah. It was very good.
What's his name?
He's Kokoti.
Wow, I think he needs to be celebrated. He needs to be celebrated.
Yeah.
Because for someone to grant you accommodation for even a day free of charge in Australia, that person is God sent. That person is God sent.
Really.
Yeah. Wow. So after your that situation, and then you got into your accommodation, let's look about feeding in Australia. Like, how did you adapt? Because the other brother's experience was like he didn't know what to say. He kept going to the shops to ask for pepper. But in Australia, they don't talk about what we call pepper as pepper. They call it hot chili. So he kept going there asking for pepper, and always he was cooking and eating as if there was no sugar, there was no pepper. So it was tasting different from him. And you know how West Africans like our food full of hot, extra hot chili. So until a day he met us, and that day he asked us, and we said, "Oh no, when you go say this," then he started eating hot chili. So what was your experience like?
With feeding, I was fortunate that I came with a very big bowl of shito from made home, like a very big bowl of shito. So I almost lost the shito to the immigration at the airport. He had to ask a lot of questions, and at a point in time, they realized I was getting frustrated. That they made me to taste the shito, ask the ingredient, whatever is in it. But finally, they made me to take it along, and so I had enough shito, I have enough gari, and finding myself in another student's apartment, it was easy for me to adapt to some of those feeding stuff in Australia, because most of the things were available in the house, and we go together to shop.
Yeah.
So he always guides me through to buy them. But then my words of faith, because I heard Eric talking about GPS and trying to check locations.
Yeah.
Brother, I got to Australia in less than 24 hours. You know, once you get into the system and you realize what you are faced with, the next thing you think about is job, even not your education.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you come here with education, you get into the country and the first thing you look out is job, because you think of how to sustain yourself in the system.
Yeah.
Make sure you're not going to be a burden to the one you're living with,
yeah,
or your family, because a lot is being, people are looking up to you for a lot of things. So
yeah,
I was faced with a lot of challenges. So I knew how to pick up my tools, and so just less than 24 hours, I got here early in the morning, and the following day, my guy was like, go to, what do you call it? Labor Power.
mm-hmm.
and go and register for work.
Wow.
So that very day I got to Australia, that night I had to prepare a CV, update my CV, and then go to Labour Power. And from Guildford to Labour Power, one, I don't know the train system.
Wow.
I don't know. And I was going to change train to bus, then to the office. But
Wow.
I got lost. I got lost, and I'm to confess here, this is one of my top secrets, man. I
Wow.
walked for close to 40 minutes.
Wow.
And this is not my country, Ghana. When you walk, you meet people, you can't ask, where can I look at this? I was walking, I don't meet anyone. So I went to a service station, and they were like, oh, keep going. They were like, keep going. It was a terrible experience that day. But then from then we had to learn the hard way. We had to learn that.
The hard way. The hard way. So how do you compare working in Australia to working in Ghana? Like the attitude to work.
Rather is very, very different. And that's where I whenever I hear the call for fix the country back home, I try to agree with. There's a program on one of the TV stations in Net 2 about the attitude by Honorable Kennedy Japan.
Yeah.
I believe it's about time with the youth we have a better attitude to it, because back home in Ghana, as the head of laboratory, I mean, my hospital was closer to my house, so sometimes I wait 5 minutes to time. I just drive in, get down, relax, go to the office. Sometimes you have to go around saying hi to a lot of friends. But I got to Australia and I realized, no, you have to be there 15 minutes before time. You have to be there 15 minutes before time. And back home in Ghana, I know my colleagues, some are working in big hospitals. They leave the hospital, go to their private facilities, still go and work during the working hours that they are supposed to be in the government facility.
Yeah.
They go work at the private and still come in because they have junior colleagues around.
Wow.
But then here in Australia, you can't. When you are scheduled for 8-hour shift, you work 8 hours. You only take a break that is allocated for you 30 minutes, and you don't stay more than 30 minutes. So productivity in terms of how we work here is more different than back home in Ghana. Yeah.
Wow. So in comparison, right? Let's say you are trying to compare the attitude to work, Ghana versus Australia. Now you live in Australia, so let's say you are comparing the attitude to work, Ghanaians version and Australian version. Would you say that, okay, why is it that Ghanaians in Ghana cannot work like that, but when they travel overseas they can? You get what I mean?
I get you. I think I would say the system, even though Ghana we have the system, I think the system is soft.
Okay.
I put the soft into quotation in that someone knows someone who knows another person can fix our mess whenever we create the mess.
Yeah.
But here in Australia, the system is there and you cannot manipulate the system. So if you are late for work, you know you are paid per hours. Ghana, we are paid not according to the hours we work.
Per the month.
Monthly salary. Whether we go to school, we go to teach, or we go to work, at the end of the month, our salary will come.
Yeah.
But here in Australia, we are paid per hour. So you know the number of hours you have to work. And that helps you to work with it. And you know that when you mess up, there's no one to fix that problem for you.
Yeah.
So you lose your job. So if that job you work in is good for you and probably closer to your house that you want to work for long, you don't mess up, because you know when you do, you lose it. And there's no way you're going to call your uncle or your party chairman, and the party chairman will know someone. Yeah, I know Ghana system, someone knows someone, they can make a call. We all made our mistakes. I have been a victim to it. But then, as I said, if we are going forward and we want to change for our country, comparatively, I believe our system back home in Ghana is soft, even though the system is there, just that it's soft, and we're not implementing the punishment that is allocated to those systems.
So, if we put everything in a nutshell, what can make the Ghanaian system work better so that the attitude to work will be, if not the same, like it will be improved upon? What do you think?
I have two things I would suggest. I know people might not, others will have their other
Different opinions,
view,
of course, yeah.
opinion there. My main first thing is we should be paid per hour. Ghana should move from the monthly salary thing to probably fortnight. Should be paid fortnight and should be paid per hour.
Okay.
So if you know you are working in 8-hour shift, you stay at work 8-hour shift and you are paid 8 hours and you leave.
Okay.
If there's overtime, they pay you. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. And this should come with a plugging in system where there's no human being just to, like, people who sign, instead of signing, you're supposed to report to work at 8. You see people writing 7:59, 7:59. No, that thing should, there should be a technology to check this thing. Now we are in a technology world and we should abreast ourselves with it. 2 is to shift politics from the system.
Okay.
Is to move away, separate politics. Even though we know our politicians will go to parliament, when they make the law to support the system, they should stay away and allow the system to work.
Wow.
So that if you're a minister, you are an MP or a DC, if you foul the system, the law should take its place.
Okay.
And at that moment, the police cannot be bribed because the systems are there.
Yeah.
Because you, the police, I'm going to pay if I'm at fault. Let's say I drive through the red light. I don't have to pay you, the police. I know I'm at fault. I'll be fine because the cameras are there. They'll pick it up. Yeah. So I have to. So the first two things I'll talk about is payment should be fortnight where we are paid per hour, and the politics should be separated from the system.
Wow. So are you saying politics is part of the problem in Ghana?
Very much. I sometimes ask myself in this country that do we really have radio stations here in Australia? Because from morning to evening, when you tune into your radio, you hear music, you hear updates, you hear informations. In the morning, the radio stations are just telling you the weather, they're telling you what to look up for the day, and they give you the news as and when they come.
Yeah.
But tune into a Ghana radio station in the morning, and our politicians are, I don't know what they take for breakfast. They can scream out and they are on the radio station from one station to the other, trying to defend sometimes things that cannot be defended. So, like, if we can, once after election, let's put politics aside, let our MPs and ministers do their work, then we, citizens, take up the mantle with a good attitude, we can fix our country, and that should be devoid of politics.
Wow. So when we say fix the country, in your opinion, what would you think should be fixed? Is it a president or a politician? Is it only for the politician, or it is something for the citizen as well as the politicians? Or who stands to actually fix the country?
I believe fix the country will be should be we the citizens. We can fix it, because how many politicians we have? We can, how many MPs or ministers? If these people fixed themselves, let's say they have a change of behavior, they are less than the total citizenry of Ghana.
Yes.
But if we, the majority of the citizens of Ghana, says we've changed our attitude, we fixed ourselves, the politicians have no option than to dance to the music. So the call to fix is not politics, it's we the citizens.
Okay, I have an opinion. I'm not sure how viewers we would pray that you can, if you can bring in your opinions, type in your comment, your suggestions, they are all welcome. I have this thought as well that I think, in as much as we the citizens have a lot to fix, I also believe that if the citizen decides to be law abiding, but then, for instance, instant justice, let's say I arrested a criminal in my backyard, and then I took him to the police station, and then the police allowed the person to actually go. All right, they just allow the person to go free of charge, and the person rather comes after doing whatever thing with the police, and then they release him to come home. The thing that will keep going on because the person knows how to get away with the system. But then, that is if I want to do the right thing by taking him to the police station. Then next time, maybe when I arrest a thief, I may not think of going to the police. So I believe that in as much as the citizens would have to try and obey the system, I also feel there should be a way where the politician should try his best to make sure that the law and order is obeyed and strictly obeyed. Because when there is law and order, there is this system of who watches the watchman. So if there is someone supervising the policeman to do his job right at the police station, he will do his job right. And if the person supervising the police officer is also having a supervisor who will come from somewhere to supervise him, he will do his job right. And that supervisor also has a supervisor. So everyone is accountable to someone, and if you break the chain, someone will expose somebody, and someone will be in trouble. But then what I've realized is that the chief inspector of a branch of a police branch, the hierarchy ends there. So if the chief inspector, if there's a problem in a police station, I'm just using this as a case study. This is happening in the education office, in the health sector, head office. It's happening in different branches, but we're just using the police station as a template here. If the police chief inspector in a branch is the highest ranking officer in there, and someone commits a crime, and that person knows somebody, that person can go and speak to the chief inspector, and the constable who arrested the criminal, even the complainant, everything is just put in the bin. So it discourages people from doing the right thing.
Yeah, very right.
So I believe it's maybe better if the government or the people, the citizenry, the people in authority will choose to do the right thing by institutionalizing the policies. I always say that every rule that made Britain, we have it in Ghana because they are our colonial masters. And then we have our constitution fashioned around the template of the British. So every law, every policy that they have used to make their country better, we've got a copy of that. And we're actually using that template. But then we don't want to, we have it on paper, but we are not implementing it practically. So it makes it look as if there is no system. There are systems in Ghana, but there is no one to ensure that those systems are functioning and working properly for us to be able to benefit from that. What do you think about that?
Brother, I agree perfectly with you. So I believe we are here to learn. And when we go back, we can make a change. I believe the change can start from one small corner.
That's right.
And I know we have a lot of people who listen to us.
Yes.
We are a little influential in our community that we came from.
That's right.
Just on the last election that went on, even though I wasn't in Ghana, I know I could do my little campaign in my small corner here because I also have people who listen to me and I'm able to positively influence on them to make a change in our community. So it's about relearning from what is being done here and trying to go back.
Brother, thank you so much. We are learning, but then we have Brother Jacob Adefio on the platform. We have Brother Kojo J on there. Welcome, guys. Look, I'm going to read their comments to you, so that if we can respond to their comments as we go. Okay, we have Brother Jacob saying, please, who do you pay your tax to? Okay. Brother Jacob, we pay our taxes to the government in power. Okay, that is the answer to your question. We pay it to, I'm not sure if you are trying to say that the person who should fix the country is the person receiving the taxes. I'm not sure if that is what you are implying by that question. But then if that is what you imply by that, then you can bring in your further questions so we can address it properly. And then Brother Kojo J also is here saying, I don't think people naturally change their behaviors. law must be enforced because when given the chance, everyone can be an animal. We are all tamed animals because of law enforcement. Perfectly right. That's exactly what I was saying, Brother Kojo. Thank you so much for that input as well. That is exactly what I was trying to put across. That we need someone to make sure we do the right thing. You know, the people we appreciate that have had a good country, they are no different, bro. They are no different. We live with them, we work with them. They are our friends, they are our colleagues. They crave to break the law. They really want to break the laws. But the thing is, the system is so tight and the net is so well knitted together that if you pass through wrongly, you'll be trapped, and it doesn't matter who you are. You know, so if we have serious policy implementing arrangements and we have law enforcement agencies making sure that these laws are functioning and functioning properly, I believe Ghana will be one of the best places to be. Your comments and your thoughts, your input are still welcomed. We are waiting for you to send more, Brother Kojo, Brother Jacob. Please, Brother Jacob, we are waiting for your follow-up input. We want that one to come in because I know you didn't end this question properly or your contribution. Bring it in. Please, if you want to call in, just send me a message and then you've got my number. We will put you in and you can call and actually speak into the channel, the system as we go. Yeah, so brother, let's go on.
Yeah. So before we go back to our school system, just a last comment. I don't know, this can be future problem when some of us or some of our colleagues end up into politics. I don't know, Ghana is difficult to privatize, but I think if we move more job to be owned by private men, with few jobs being owned by the government, that can also be another success. But it will take, because when you start to privatize a lot of things in Ghana, trust me, the citizenry will come and start fighting. I know they've tried before some of the sectors, and when they try, people try to fight back. They try to fight back because when the job is for government, there's a lot of loopholes that we, the citizenry, always enjoy, and we don't want to. Because I work in a Catholic hospital, child institution, and in Ghana, you always say, oh, if you want the best facility, people opt for a child institution because of discipline. It's all because the child institution, the topmost decision makers are very close to you.
That's right.
And most of them, the bishops and the reverend sisters, they are very close and they are part of whatever goes on day to day. So you get to work, your sister in charge is already at work. Or the reverend father, who is the chief executive of the hospital, is already there. So you can't be late. But for government hospital, the director of health went for weekend. He's coming on Tuesday. The medical soup stays somewhere. He's going to fix his bank issue.
And he's not on leave.
He's not. So as I said, the system, we get there one day, but as other brothers has contributed, we need to wake up and we have a duty, as some of us who have come this far can go back also to influence or also teach our colleagues. What it is over here.
There's something too that I've noticed that I want to put across. The reason why one thing I've found out is that one of the reasons why we are struggling as a country politically in terms of development and getting things to work properly in the local, like in the actual suburbs and in the communities, is that the way we are running two parallel governance systems, chieftaincy and democracy. You get what I mean? I have realized that chieftaincy is running parallel to democracy, to the extent that we say we've got the National House of Chiefs, but they have not been fused into the democratic hierarchy. So it's made it look as if chieftaincy is still existing but does not exist. So when the DCE or whoever wants to come and do something in a community comes, he goes to visit the chief, but the people actually overseeing the project, implementing the project, has nothing to do with the chief. And in every community in Ghana, in Africa, the locals respond well to the chiefs than the MP who doesn't even live in the community. So I always thought
Yeah,
that go on.
yeah, I think what you are saying is very true. That the para system is, I think it's, we only see it in paperwork like para, but then
Yeah.
in reality, as you said, it's the politician ruling the whole system.
Yes.
Chiefs are only consulted when the politician hits the rock.
That's right.
And, it's not the best. It's not. I think we did not grow up well in politics.
Yeah.
And we took over. If we have gone through the transition war and know how to still value the kind of leadership we had before the slave trade or the introduction of the whites into our system, probably we could have know how to marry the two or mirror the two without losing sight or the benefit of our old system, that the chieftains.
Yeah, okay, let's acknowledge some of these other viewers that have come on. Brother Prince Opoku, you are welcome to the channel. This gentleman is my schoolmate from primary school. And then we have Brother Andy Fenny, Brother Andy Fenny on the Apostle Bishop. He's here.
Hey.
Yeah. Sister Stephanie Lambiris is also watching. Brother Kojo Ejela and Brother Jake, they are all here. Please bring in your input, your comments. We have no idea where these discussions will end, and I believe some of these thoughts will go to a very far extent to contribute and to make modifications somewhere you have no idea. So bring it on. So I always thought, I always thought that it may be better if they had maybe in the hierarchy, maybe we have assemblyman in any area, we have maybe district chief executive, like they've got it in the system. Maybe they should have had an assemblyman being someone that reports to the chief of the town, so that the chief will report to the DCE, so that in that hierarchy, if there is any project happening in the community, which is being overseen by the assemblyman reports to the chief. So it becomes a bit easier for both of them to make sure the things are done and done properly, rather than the DCE relying directly on the assemblyman who is doing things in his own way, who may not be doing the thing correctly. And the thing is being done for the chief, like building a school in a small community and the chief is not part of the process. If less or more materials are being used, the chief can see it but cannot do much about it. You know what I mean? Officially cannot do much, but if he's officially part of the protocol, he can actually interfere and make sure the right thing is done. But then
that's true.
We kind of have them there, but they don't exist. So if they can do something, it will be better.
Because when you go to the palace, I think the sub chiefs that are appointed, they are one or the other, like the ministerial appointment. Because in the palace they have the one who oversees the finances of the.
Yeah.
We have the Nkoswohene.
Yeah.
So that had to talk about how to develop.
We
have the Sanahene, that's about finance. We have the Emnantehene, that's about the youth and develop. So I think we should be able to marry the two. But then before we move into that, I just taking you back to the initial thing about we the international student, because I think some of our colleagues will still be watching back home in Ghana that they want to know. So what ended up? There are some few tips I would give to everyone who wants to travel to Australia.
Okay.
So that we can go back again to the developmental issues of Ghana.
Yeah.
Now, one, never commit or pay so much ransom to any, in quote, connection man if you want to travel to Australia. This is me. You can sit in Ghana behind your computer, search for schools in Australia.
Okay.
I just did myself and applied everything myself. The only thing is when you get to a stage, the school will recommend, some schools will start with agency and they will recommend a specific agency that are recognized.
Okay.
And they don't take money. You don't pay them.
Okay.
It's free. So I think in Australia they have a BCI, that's British Canadian, whatever. It's in Ghana, and another agency. They are the two recognized institutions in Ghana if you want to travel to Australia.
Wow.
And it is free.
Which are the two agencies? Please repeat it because someone would need this information.
I know one is called BCIE, British Canadian International Education.
Okay.
The second one I've forgotten, but if during our conversation, if I remember, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So you can get this admission yourself or go to them. They'll help you through. It is free. You don't pay anything.
Okay.
Because when you travel to Australia and you are paying fees, the agency enjoy something from your fee payment.
Okay.
So you don't have to pay anything to any agency to travel to Australia for schooling. That is one.
Okay.
Two, I will also advise anyone who wants to travel to Australia for studies to please try and do this IELTS or PT test before you come.
Okay.
I always say it's easier back home because most of the examiners there are our own people and they understand our accent more than when you move in here. You are speaking a very good English, but the one to examine you might not have the accent of an African.
Okay.
And sometimes they don't, if they are not able to understand you, they might mark you down.
Okay, so so please let's get that part clear. So are you saying that your accent even can affect your grade?
Yeah, your accent can affect your grade.
So how can you improve your accent whilst you are not here?
No, when you are in Ghana and you are writing, the examiners, they are our own people. Okay. So they understand our accent. Okay. So you don't have to fake or you don't have to speak like a British. The way you speak, whoever marks it, their own Ghanaians or their own people, British. But then you come here, assuming you're going to be examined by an Indian.
Okay.
Your examiner is an Indian.
Yeah.
Their accent and the way they pick things, especially their pronunciation, are different.
Yes.
So that can affect you.
Okay. That can affect you.
That is one of them.
So if
and two,
if you can do us a favor, what should be, let's say somebody wants to come to Australia to study at the basic level, what should be the minimum requirement? Like SSCE or like what are some of the sensitive course areas? You being a student, I just want to, look, we want to make this channel a discussion something that is really relevant and practical to the people that are listening to us. So what are some of the course areas or the grades, the levels of education that if you have them in Ghana, like, okay, if you have SSS certificate or teacher training or nursing or university, it can help you to be able to travel so that people can, you know, think of whether they qualify.
I think,
if you know.
Yeah, in an attempt to answer your question, I believe Australia has a lot of courses that will meet the needs of everyone based on your dream.
Okay.
I'll put in quotes, based on your dream. But then in practicality, when you come, the people you come to meet here will help you to fix your initial idea of coming. Because sometimes you come and they will let you know that the course that you come to read, even though will help you, but might not be able to fix into the system well.
Okay.
I'll put into context system well because sometimes you want to probably work after studies, if you want to stay a little longer, you might need to do certain courses that the Australians really accept.
Okay.
That it markets itself. Let me put that way.
Yeah.
Because that market itself. Aside that, once you qualify for every university in Ghana, automatically you qualify for any university in Australia. Once you have your English, even though you've studied English in Ghana, trust me, even if you have your masters in Ghana, you still need English to come to certain universities in Australia. Okay. Some might exempt you, but most universities now is becoming, I think the immigration is a requirement, so you still need it. And just to add up to what I was saying initially, there are schools, I think everybody thinks when you are in outside Australia, you think about Sydney.
Yeah.
But then if you are thinking of coming to study in Australia, I want you to cast your net wide. Forget about Sydney.
Okay.
I'm saying forget about Sydney because I'm coming from Sydney.
Okay.
I've now moved from Sydney to Adelaide.
Okay.
So I know the two.
Okay.
So I can really advise you and let you know that I would say forget about Sydney because
you moved to Adelaide for technical reasons, eh?
Yeah.
for technical reasons.
Technical reasons. Sure.
Viewers, some of their reasons for doing certain things is when you're already in, they can guide you. He moved from one state to the other we'll call it technical reasons for now. Aha. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think I think it is very good that you are
Because
bringing this across.
if you do your masters in Sydney
Hmm.
after school, you are given 2 years 485 graduate visa
Okay.
that can allow you to stay and work. But if you study in Adelaide or
Yeah.
other regional areas, let me be specific with Adelaide, you
Hmm.
get 3 years.
Hmm.
You get 3 years.
Oh, so
And
you have more time to do other things after even the studies, right?
yeah, and this is the icebreaker. Look, if you're a graduate visa like me
Hmm.
with family,
Yeah.
kids, you pay public school $6,500 for each child
Okay.
when you're on 485.
Yeah.
But you come to Adelaide, there are certain schools that you pay less than 500, others are $1,000 for the same public school, the same education.
Wow. But bro, please hold on. Hold on for a minute. We have another contribution coming in on Facebook that we may have to see if we can address. I'm not sure. It looks like a contribution. It says that is from brother Prince Opoku. He says, "Bruh, democracy is not good for Africans. No matter what opposition political parties will do, anything diabolic. Okay, I said no matter what any other political party will do to pull you down and make you unpopular. So I read again, democracy is not good for Africans. No matter what opposition political parties any will do anything. Okay, the other political parties will do anything to pull you down and make you unpopular. What do you make of that point too?
Ah, about the popularity when they are off power. Yeah, I think I agree with him. I agree with him. It's
Oh,
true.
okay.
But
So no matter what you
that's why
do,
I said unless we're able to move separate our politics from our systems,
hmm,
uh, when we keep the two together, no matter what if it's NDC government trying to fix the system,
yeah,
MPP will try to punch holes into the system.
okay,
And once MPP comes, and it's also try to punch holes in. But then, if we all have a common goal of fixing the system, let the politicians do their own thing. And that's why I wanted, because I was just listening to one of these old morning hosts, Kwame Sefakai,
yeah,
trying to explain this issue of the monument or salary for our
first
president's
ladies and
wife
the
and other
exes,
things.
yeah,
Yeah, I tried to. He explained it to I, and he said, I want to quote his way. He says that is his understanding,
okay,
and he stands for correction.
okay,
And based on what he said there have been allowances for the years. They are all receiving allowances, all the
hmm,
women, especially after the President Kufuor's era, where they tried to
yeah,
reconcile people who are in pain. They
okay,
started paying them, like giving them allowances.
yeah,
But then the new team decided that no, allowances are not legitimate.
mm-hmm,
It's someone's discretion. So
hmm,
it can be terminated at any time.
yeah,
So why don't we constitution make it like fixed,
okay,
like it's a salary where it will be guided by law.
okay,
So you cannot change it at any
hmm,
time. This same politician that we voted for in the parliament, whether they are NDC, NPP, independent, they all voted for. When
okay,
I say they all voted for, some may vote again, but in the nutshell,
hmm,
the final outcome is they all agreed
okay,
that they should be paid a salary.
hmm,
Now they are out there, and now it's a debate that no, they shouldn't be. So when you went into parliament, what did you go to do there? That's why I said we, the citizens, should be able to separate the system, because they are now bringing the politics from the parliament to affect the system. And they were
yeah,
going to fix a nice system that would make salary work for our first ladies
hmm,
and their wives. Now they are bringing politics into the system, and that was what always affects our
okay.
people.
So what don't you think Ghana actually, for instance, like what you're saying, anything that has to do with policies, if policies are handled by politicians, it becomes biased because policies are meant to last for the country and it's a system that comes to stay for whoever that is ruling now or who is coming after. So don't you think Ghana needs a system where we can have something like a committee of planners, where they are planning that which region needs, I mean, a school, maybe regional planners, like every region can have a team of 10, one architect, one engineer, one teacher, maybe one nurse, one doctor, like a group of professionals that can be set up for every region where they plan a list of things that need to be done per every region, presented to the National Board of Planners, where they apportion like budgets and go like, okay, this region needs this much more, that needs this more. Then they can put things together and say, okay, if we are doing a school for Northern region, maybe the Western region needs water. So we apportion budgets according to the national like schedule of activities or projects to be done. So if a political party wins power and comes, there is something that the planners want to get done. It's not about what you are coming to do, because, bro, I checked through the manifesto of the current two big political parties in Ghana, and most of the things they wrote in their manifestos, right when, I'll use this as an example, right when Jerry John Rawlings skipped from military rule to civilian rule, what they put in their first manifesto is still in the current manifesto. We are looking over 20 years old. So it means that the politicians' manifesto is not something they write to achieve, but it is something they write with the intention of using it to convince the populace, just to win votes and put it aside. You understand? So it makes it look like politicians are just joking with the thumb of the citizens. Whatever he can say to get the thumb to move in his way, then he will do it. But then if the national planners have got policies and activities, think projects to be done for each region, and you come in power, you are not going to leave those ones. But then every other social policies like health insurance, like school feeding, any strange, good, powerful ideas that you can bring on board as a political party, you can bring it on as well, in addition to what the nation wants to do. And those planners will oversee our projects. It's not like, look, I've got a video, viewers, I've got a video of a road constructed in the eastern region of Ghana. And you can see how the road is actually puffing up like dough, like gari that you've poured water on. Meanwhile, it is a road that we've spent money on, because there is no one to supervise to make sure the project has been completed and completed properly. No one, there's no one to do this for us. So, like, if I get a contract to construct a road or to build a school, I do it how I want it, when I want it, and just go and take my money. Why? Because I know no one is going to check it. But come to this Australia where we live. Take a job from someone and finish the job. It doesn't matter whether government or private or whatever. Someone is going to check, and if you are not careful, you might be sued for that. Even 10 years later, if the same project breaks and creates a damage, you'll be liable because you needed insurance to make sure your insurance is going to cover all those projects. You know, so we need people that can be like national planners to help us in these regards. I don't know.
I agree with you perfectly, but then when you started, you realized I was shaking my head.
Yeah.
What was going through my head was like, who appoint those planners? That is the question.
It should be non-political.
That is it.
It should be
non-partisan.
But
now, if you decide to plan, if you decide to appoint, it's difficult for us to dissociate ourselves from politics in Ghana. That's the problem I said initially, that the two things that need to be fixed. Because we said even our assemblymen should be non-partisan.
Yeah, but we can't.
But you and I know that it's not. So when even the appointment of the police commissioner or whatever shouldn't be, but it's so. When you decide now to appoint planners.
Let me give you an example. The reason why this should work. You know, in Australia, they've got this system called the ombudsman. The ombudsman system. Where if I remember when I first came to Australia, I had issues with one of the telecommunications. I don't have to mention names for sake of certain reasons. I had issues with one of those telecommunication agencies in Australia, one of the biggest ones. And it was getting more frustrating, and someone recommended them to me. I called the ombudsman, and within 5 minutes, they called and resolved the problem and gave me free credit to use, and gave me the direct phone number of one of their managers, and said, if I have any issues, call me. Why? Because if later on I realized that if they did not do what they had to do, those ombudsman people could have shut their business down just because of something as simple as that. So there's somebody always watching over someone to make sure the right thing is done, but we don't have it. Hey, let me acknowledge one brother here, Nana Chiamire. He said he's my mate, but the name, I think he's using a different name on Facebook. Nana Chiamire, please. Is it Nana Chiamire?
He has graduated.
Yeah, please. He studied in Agogo State. I think he's your classmate. He should be your mate. Yeah. So please try and acknowledge identify yourself properly to us so that we can appreciate you. Please bring in your comments as well. Share this video. Please, you can follow us on YouTube. We have our TV channel on YouTube where all these things get deposited, and you can continue to watch them anytime. And please share them for us, and then subscribe to that channel for us as well as you enjoy whatever we are doing. I will upload a link to the YouTube under this video so that anybody can also go there. So this is the YouTube link where anybody can go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, so please, brother, go ahead. I think Brother Jacob, I've seen something like a message. I thought Brother Jacob has sent something through. No.
Okay. Is that a question?
Yes,
okay.
It says,
so
okay. Please, Brother Jacob is back. It says, we pay our taxes to the government. So it's the responsibility of the government to fix the country, not the citizen, because we give the power to them, so they have to enforce the law. That's the reason. He says that's the reason why we pay our taxes to them. So that is what Brother Jacob is saying.
You know one thing, there are two things. That's what sometimes when you are given certain phrase, we have to understand. Enforcing law, there's a law enforcement agency. Making law is another agency, that's our parliamentarians.
Yes.
The government oversees over all of this. But when we talk about systems, systems are basic common sense principle laid down to guide people to live a normal life. That is system.
Yeah.
So if the system says that when you eat, you don't have to drop your rubbish on the floor. You don't need to go to school. That is the system. You don't need to go to school to know that if I drop the rubbish on the floor, I'm going to make mess in the environment. So I look for a bin. If there's no bin, I put the rubbish in my bag. When I go home, there's a bin in the house. But our own Ghanaian will say, oh, the government did not put a bin in the community, so I'll drop it on the floor.
Yeah, you are so right. But the problem is, the systems you spoke about, if the government does not deal with, let's say, the police or whoever that is supposed to make sure the citizens are behaving like human beings in court, if the government doesn't get people to monitor to make sure those basic responsibilities are performed by the citizens, then the citizens will do things and get away with it, and that is how our laws become useless.
I agree, but I have the opinion of we trying to build it from the grassroots, all right? Because I think now technology is making it difficult for some of our policemen that they don't know who is videoing them now, whether to take money or not. So the system can be like, oh, all checkpoints should have video cameras. All police now, men on uniform, you should have a video recorder attached to your uniform. That should be provided by the government. And that is also making the system work. But then I think that comes with also its
extra cost.
Let me say cost. So the basic one is what I was looking at, because I think once we fix the basic ones, gradually we'll get there. Because trust me, the police issue has been there. Sometimes I don't even want to go to the police. Let's go to my field, the health sector. People always complain about our nurses. And yes, within our own facility, within my be their mother,
Yes.
can be their fellow relative. Because if you mistreat someone or maltreat someone in your hospital, your mom will be at another facility that can be maltreated over there.
Yeah.
So if we have that attitude that this is a system, we are here to work, and the client comes in, we take off. That's what we've decided to do, and we are paid to do it. So you don't need a patient to give me a tip in the laboratory to get your results out early for you. You don't need a tip to make sure your results comes early. If the computer or whatever machines I'm using says your test results will take 45 minutes, if you give me the tip, brother, I'm going to chop the money. But I can't do anything. I can't cook the results. It will come 45 minutes. Understand that. Don't tip anyone. Just be patient and wait for your results. But we always want a shortcut in everything we do. But once we come to know the system, and the system comes with education. Once we know the system is this, that when you go to the hospital, you have to take your time, drop in your card. The card officer have to take time, look for your card, retrieve it. Someone might come later than you, but might go earlier, probably due to emergency. Once we know the system is there, we'll stop paying people to fast track things for us, which doesn't really make the system work.
Yeah, that's true though. That's true. The only thing is that the systems we have in our country are not systems that are functioning. You know what I mean? They are not non-functioning systems which we are dealing with. So sometimes it makes it really difficult for people to agree that we have systems in place. You get what I mean? Because it makes things become really terrible for our people to agree. Because when you tell me there are systems that we are following, meanwhile, the system we are following is also frustrating somebody else. You get my point? Because whatever...
Can you explain that to me?
Okay. Whatever we do, whatever we call maybe systems that we want to use, right? Somebody is sitting somewhere and that person is not interested in anything that the government does. But then whatever he's trying to always do, he makes sure when the government speaks about anything, he will kick against it. You get my point? Because people are there just trying to go against anything that has to do with the government.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. I think that's what one of our viewers made a comment as to people oppositions always trying to find fault with the ruling government.
Yes.
That is it. And that is true. Because just behind us, even in Ghana, when someone wants to go to England, look at the kind of discipline. Within the same country, we get to the British Embassy and our attitude changes just there and then.
Yeah, of course.
And even when we go, we have an appointment, we are even there 30 minutes before.
Yeah.
In a queue.
Now, haven't you heard this statement when they say, hey, where they bronya jumo, some contempt.
That is what
even whilst we are here, we keep saying, Charlie, you be share 6 o'clock where they make candy chrome custom. Where they be share 6 o'clock brony time. It's this is who we are. We have accepted that this is what we want to do. So we can only do the right thing when we choose to do the right thing. You know.
So that's why I still want to believe that we, the citizenry, the grassroots, have to fix ourselves. We need to come together and say, enough is enough. I'll do the right thing in my own small corner.
Yeah.
You're going to do yours in your own small corner. I'm not going to. And once we try to do things the right way, it will shape the system, and that it will not even make it easier. You, the politician, look at when it's campaign time in Australia. Can any politician come and pass anyone for campaign? No. But I'm going to work.
Yeah.
I need to pay my bills. I need to do what I have to do.
That's true. That's true.
So if it gets to the time that we, the citizenry in Ghana, even if I'm not working so much, like in a very big company, in my small way, if I'm going to my farm, I'll not stop my farming and follow you, the politician, to go and campaign.
Okay. All right. So.
And once we do that, it will get to a time we will just move on.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Okay. So, in conclusion, what would you have to say to summarize all that we have discussed so far at this point? And I believe we can have another time to talk more about some of these things. Today we have just chucked everything into the basket, but in your conclusion, we will later find a day and choose one area and really discuss it. Yeah. So, what will be your conclusion?
What I'm going to say is just to put everything that we discussed. One, I believe that anyone who wants to travel to Australia is possible. If you want to, can travel. It's possible to come in. When after COVID, it's possible to travel. If you want to come and study here, it's possible. When we come to learn something positive and go back to influence our people home. And I also want to believe that it's still not far from fetch for us to make an impact into our community. That Ghana can be a better place for us all.
All right. So, viewers, we thank Brother Emma so much for his presentations today. One thing I'll also say in conclusion is that, yes, traveling to Australia or to any developed country to study is possible, but it takes more effort than we ever thought. I know people that are doing 2-3 jobs. Brother Emma will laugh, I know. We have people that are doing 2, 3, 4 jobs. Some don't even go home at all in a week. They visit their houses once to even have shower, just so that they can pay their school fees, feed themselves, send money home, feed families. So we are just also pleading with everyone back home that has anyone overseas that let us try as much as possible. It doesn't matter whether it's Australia, Germany, Canada, anywhere. Let's try to minimize the dependency level so that they don't get overburdened, because people here are stressing. And when I'm especially school for, they are paying school fees, big monies. We can't be sure, we can't be specific. That's why we will not mention someone's school fees to you online, but we know people are paying big sums of monies as school fees, feeding themselves, accommodation, frustration, and other things. Next time we will talk about relationships, marriages, and lifestyle of the international students in overseas, and your mind will be blown. Just stay there, family, and enjoy the rest of the day as we sign out and we say, have a blessed day.
Can I say hi to?
Yeah, please.
Can I say hi to my people back in Sydney?
Go ahead.
Andy, MD, and all the city family, and Pastor Men. I've missed you guys, and I hope this lockdown will not last for long, so that we can return to normal days, man.
And you can also appreciate people back home in Ghana, Germany, because this brother here, Nana Chiamire, he says he's either my classmate or your classmate. He's watching us from Germany.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we appreciate you so much. Yeah, please.
Yeah, all my guys back home, Ghana, everywhere, Dumpasi, my small town, man. I love you guys, and I know we can make it.
Yeah.
So just keep tuning in, just enjoy the station, and subscribe and pass your comment, and let's see how best we can make an impact in our society.
All right, then, family, have a very good evening, and we will talk to you next time on this same channel, Coda TV, which is reconciling you to the source. Stay blessed. Bye.